What do you think about different styles of managing complex bootc container files? Currently migrating a system or a set of bash scripts to Ansible within the image build. Okay. I didn't even think about Ansible within the
Mhm.
image build. That's interesting.
Yeah, so we've been working with the system roles folks and some other folks to actually do and think about how do you apply Ansible during at build time, right? So,
Right.
there's certain things that obviously like this really kind of brings back stuff that we've talked about, but like sort of ignored for a long time in operations, which is like real separation of build time stuff and runtime stuff. Like you can't configure the network until you have one. So that should be Ansible at runtime. But setting up NTP servers, like they don't actually have to exist. Like do that at build time.
Yeah.
So generally, I think there's a lot of interesting things we can do with complex container files. I think having the ability to do some of this stuff templated. And somebody earlier mentioned things about environment variables available during Podman build, which I have used to pass secrets into so we're not leaking passwords and things like that.
Yep. GitLab is leveraging that pretty heavily in my
Yeah.
build. There's secrets that are stored within GitLab. There's also Podman secrets that I'm passing from the build environment into the container build. So yeah.
Yeah. And I tried to figure out how to do it with things like pass an argument to get the right repo. Say I want a rel 10 versus rel 9, but there's some oddities there about how we name stuff. I think like there's a wild unexplored space. We've been in tech preview for about a year, GA for a few months. That is all in the wild west of yes, you should try it. And like there's probably a lot of things that we can take advantage of.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you the concept of image mode. You were there a year ago when we first debuted image mode. Most of the questions I got in the booth were like, why would I do that? This is ridiculous. Why on earth would you want this fat, heavy container written to a disk? But then this year at Summit, when people had that year to stew on it, and now the messaging around image mode is just so much more clear. It's more like, oh, I could do that with this. I could do this other thing with that. And I think we're still just at the beginning of that path. I think there's going to be so many cool things that could come out of just image mode and how to get automation done and how to run things in container files like we were just talking about. I'm pretty excited about it. I love this feature of rel 10. It's one of the things I get most excited about when I talk about the new release.
Yeah, it is. For me, it's unlocked a lot of things that I set down, like the whole idea of being able to do testing, automated build and test, and know that at the end you have something that you can just deploy to production and it's good to go. We still have manual checklists and other things we have to do by hand because we never were really able to solve that. We need to do instantiate a thing. Like we had to have something running.
Yeah.
And it got difficult.
Yeah, I think this solves a lot of the promises that were made a decade and a half ago when we started talking about cloud. A lot of those ideas that people were having, some of them just were never really truly realized. There were ways to get them done, but none of them were clean. And this is a huge step, I think. Huge step. All right, so this has been a fun episode. I don't know that we're going to go deeper in the near future on image mode. It always feels like the deeper we get on a topic, the less interested people get on it. But as Red Hatters, we love to go deep on technology. So if folks are interested in more image mode, we have a bunch of content already out there. We've got a bunch of labs that you can get your hands on if you go to lab.redhat.com. We've got a bunch of blogs. There's a lot of Red Hatters talking about image mode right now.